The year is 2014. A rookie in the 450 Supercross class wins the opening round of the season. A rookie in the 250 Supercross class wins the opening round of the 250 Supercross East Championship. One is Europe's greatest prodigy, Ken Roczen. The other is America's greatest prodigy, Adam Cianciarulo, and it appeared inevitable as these riders became fast friends that they would soon elevate to the top of the sport and maybe battle each other for championships in the premier class. But 5 years later, it hasn't worked out. But could this be the year? Welcome to your 2020 preview for Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. This is our Racer X preview shows brought to you by Monster Energy. I'm Jason Wygant. This is Steve Mathis. That is Jason Thomas. Thanks to our sponsors, Fly Racing, Pro Taper, LS2 helmets, and Maxxis tires. Episode 2, we're talking Kenny and AC. Now, this has been a strange, long ride to get here for these two who it appeared inevitable. They're going to have so many titles and so many wins, and then they'll have to race each other. Well, now it's finally happening. They're racing each other, but they don't have the huge pile of titles that we thought they would. But maybe this time they get it together. We're going to start with the idea of them working together. They're still buddies. They're two of the most dynamic riders on and off the track. And now they're going to ride together a bit. Not as much, not the full off season. The first thing I think everybody wants to know is, what happens if Adam starts going faster than Kenny? Are we worried about this at all? Because he's coming in with so much hype. Didn't get the Supercross title last year, but a phenomenal campaign on that bike to win Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Adam has finally arrived. Is he going to start messing with these other established 450 riders? First of all,
Zach Osborne should be in this episode, everybody, but Jason Wygant did the outline, so I want you to know that. But anyways,
okay.
Look, the whole Adam and Kenny thing, that's just message board fan
You think so, huh?
stuff. I do. I right off the bat, right out of the gate, we saw Roczen do the same thing with Villopoto. It was fine. We've seen it over the years. Now, hit me up 2 years down the road if they're both fighting for it, but right now, I think for 2020, it'll be fine. Those two buddies will get together great. And I mean, I'd like to see, if we got them in a room, I'd like to find out what Kenny thinks of Adam's Kawasaki and vice versa. Right, that'll be great. We'll never hear that, but I would like to hear that.
You mean he's ridden it or just watching?
No, they'll ride it. They'll
really? That's happening?
That'll happen.
It always has, always will.
So, anyways, yeah, Adam is going to be good, folks. This is not a news break here. Adam's going to be really good. He's going to go fast. He will get pole positions. He will win heat races, and he might get a podium or two in Supercross as well. But, JT, as you know, it is a long grind of a 17-week Supercross season, and Adam is prone to making a mistake or two.
It's going to be interesting. I'm not sold on the fact that everything will just be hunky-dory if Adam comes in and let's say he surprises everyone and wins Anaheim 1. I don't know. There's so many people behind the scenes that are always just chirping in their ear and like, oh, you're helping this guy and you're making him better and you're letting him ride here and you're doing all these things on both sides. You don't help him, don't get him better. You're going to allow him to win championships. I hope that you're right. They're both so cool, and on and off the track, they're just incredibly talented, dynamic as you used. I hope that continues to work. We've seen it work with Ken Roczen before, but I don't know. There's so much evidence to the contrary of these guys once they get into primetime 450 championship battles that they can't keep their egos in check. They can't keep the same looseness amongst each other. They're worried about sharing secrets. They're worried about helping the other guy.
I think these two are different.
What is your evidence? I feel like we hype this up every year even with Baker's guys, and guess what? Baker's guys are all still there doing it. So I don't feel like that does break down.
It certainly happened over history. Ricky Carmichael, Ezra Lusk. You look at basically anybody, like it's always been an A alpha guy and a B guy that really doesn't challenge him that seem to work the best. There is evidence. Obviously, Alden Baker has rewritten the script as far as how
Mark and Jason Anderson have had issues.
It got a little rough going into 18.
Yeah, there's been some.
They didn't quit. They're still there.
Yep. Like I said, I hope, and I think it can work. It will be interesting to watch if Adam Cianciarulo can come in. We just saw him win the Monster Energy Cup, right? That was a great start. His Instagram videos, if that means anything, he looks incredibly fast. He's flying at the test track.
All right.
Man, I don't know. I wonder how it's going to go. And like I said, I hope it works out for the best. But we've seen time and time again that doesn't always.
All right. I feel like we've seen time and time again that they'll be just fine.
But
always pointing.
Do they have?
Yes.
Yeah, pointing. Do they have Alden Baker to keep everybody?
They
in check,
don't even have really the same trainer at all. Like
Right.
Adam's on the Nick Way program. That's his trainer. Kenny's with Blake Savage. So And we talked to Adam a little bit. They didn't spend the whole offseason riding together. They've ridden together some. So it's not the same as the Baker deal. But there are X factors.
I got a question for you, Weege. If Adam comes out, I mean, look, we saw last year, we talked about Joey Savacci and Aaron Plessinger and Zach Osborne and Justin Hill, and 2 of those guys had garbage seasons. So, we're 50-50 with rookies. Now, I'm not saying Adam's going to come out and have a garbage season, but let me ask you this. If Adam comes out and, doesn't do what he's supposed to do, but because everyone likes Adam, including myself, do we just go, oh, we'll figure it out? Like, are you going to bring the hammer down on AC is what I'm asking Weigandt?
Well, I've been accused of not bringing the hammer down. I think if you ask Adam, I have, yes, some have accused me of not bringing the hammer down. If you ask Adam, I feel like I have. We're going to get into this a little bit later, but I feel like the whole industry needs to slow the roll a little bit because of the reason you said. None of those rookies even made all 17 races last year. I'm not sold on the watch for Adam. He's going to start beating Eli. He's going to start showing Kenny.
I'm not in that camp. Who's in that camp?
Most rookies struggle. I don't care
who's
who
in
you
that
are.
camp? Is somebody in that camp?
Oh, there's tons of people in that camp. There's so much hype.
Oh, no, Supercross is hard.
We see it every year.
I mean,
there is overwhelming evidence of one thing. Most rookies don't even make all 17 races.
Are we talking Adam predictions right now? I mean,
I don't want to go there yet.
Okay.
I don't want to go there yet. But I will bring the hammer down on him like we do every other rookie.
Right.
I think we're a little early to say he's going to start upsetting Kenny. He's going to upset Eli. You just got to make it to the darn races.
I just said that. I said that.
Okay, you agree.
Yeah, like let's back all that down. He's going to be very fast.
YouTube commenters will take it from here.
Okay.
They'll tell you how Adam's going to be awesome. I'm just saying it's a little early for that.
I've seen the future, and I was in Geneva this past weekend. We'll get to that.
Oh, that's not even episode 3. Like, sorry, bro. When you talk Ken Roczen, it's the same story every year. It's the health. It was the arm, then it was the other arm. Now this year we go into it with a mysterious kind of undisclosed illness that really hurt him in the back half of Supercross and throughout most of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, especially if the weather was gnarly. And look, Kenny is always honest to a fault. What Kenny has not done in any interview during this offseason is say, I'm cured, I'm good, I'm coming out guns a-blazing, I'm gonna win races. I think he wanted that story a few years ago. Like, I'm going to go from the gnarly arm injury in 17, I'm going to win in 18. I don't feel like he sells that way anymore.
Yeah, I think the Kenny pre-arm injury with the suit and the car, and that was, I'm here to kick ass and take names.
Yeah, he certainly was.
Right.
He was doing just that.
Right. Yes. And then now I feel like post-injury, he's been a little bit of a different guy, persona off the track. So.
Well, and I think Weege makes a great point. Even in his most current interviews, he still will refer to it as we're managing it. We have it in a good place. It's not like, yeah, we're good, I'm ready to go win. I think he's confident, but I think there are still lingering issues that he doesn't know going into every Saturday, just like last year. Am I going to have a good day? Am I going to have a bad day?
Hold on. Do you think that that's where we're at for 2020 with Kenny?
I don't think he can 100% tell you that everything's good.
Does he have some sort of uncurable disease that no doctor can possibly find out?
You tell me. He hasn't ever disclosed exactly what's going on.
I know, and that's fine. That's his personal problem. That's personal stuff. I get it, but
my theory is that he has a problem related to all these surgeries, and that's why it's more complicated and potentially impossible to fully solve, unlike it is for most riders where they just take 6 months off and they're good.
Okay. I guess I'll buy that. I don't know if I can handle another season of Kenny going up and down.
You can.
Up and down. Yeah, never mind him, right? But I assumed, I read the interview on RacerX. Aaron Hansel did a great interview with him, and I know what you're saying. He was couching everything a little bit.
He was.
But I just assumed that we've got this thing figured out. And I'm not calling championship, but I'm calling,
We're not going to see this.
I just assumed that. I assume we're not going to see that. We've been 6 months.
I think he would obviously like to have it handled.
Yeah.
And I think he hopes he has it handled, and I think there's a chance to have it handled. But I believe he's opened the door to maybe not. When I get into the grind of the season, I might not be good.
But I think we could agree Kenny's always been one of the most transparent riders out there.
Yeah.
He's been very vocal, good and bad, whatever's going on in his life. And for him to not just clear the air and say, yeah, I'm good now, I took time off, I'm healed, that's telling for me. What that looks like on the results page come January, February, March, I don't know. But I would have felt much more confident if he came out and gave a clear, definitive answer that he's good to go for 2020.
I know, for one thing, outside of about 4 riders, everybody wants to see Kenny Roczen grab his first win, Supercross win, post-surgery.
Yes.
100%. Couldn't get any closer than he's gotten last year, and I think it'll happen in 2020. I do. I think he wins. I think he breaks this streak. But let's just start with that, I guess, first for Kenny, please, and we'll go forward.
Yeah, he's got to get this win. You can't have had it ripped out in more heartbreaking fashion over and over. I think the win's coming. As far as the title thing, when you don't hear him, has been super confident in the past, even advertising it, you've got to wonder. Speaking of advertising, thanks to our sponsors, Monster Energy, our title sponsor for the show. They got us in here to the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki race shop, which is there, and the shop where you can buy retail stuff and see all these championship machines behind us. Also, Fly Racing, Maxxis tires, Pro Taper, and LS2 helmets. One other topic, while we're talking, can Kenny and AC get along? This is where it gets a little more complicated. So now you have Ken Roczen, who has historically battled Eli Tomac, now working with Eli Tomac's teammate. You're saying they'll just ride each other's bikes? It'll just happen?
Well, 100% chance they jump on each other's bikes. Yeah, I mean...
I did not know, JT, this is a long-standing tradition?
Well, technically it voids their contract. It's a big breach of contract to do that, but yeah, it happens.
Okay, so there's a couple other things here. Now, I've had other people say, forget about Kenny and AC getting along. What if AC starts beating Tomac and he's working with Roczen? How's that going to work? I always tamp down all this drama, but this is what the fans think might happen. Is there a threat? Look, Cowie has kind of operated on an A-Rider, B-Rider program for a long time. We didn't expect Jake Weimer to beat Ryan Villopoto straight up. Tim Ferry, I think, was only hired to test the bike for James Stewart.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Some people say.
Some pundit said that.
Yeah, somebody said that. They generally have their guy. We had Josh Grant on the team for a few years with Eli. I don't think they expect him to beat Eli for the title. Savachi was good last year. I don't think they expected it. Now you're looking at a 1A and a 1B+++++. How's that going to go?
Well, we saw with Marvin and Cooper. It was fine. Those guys were going at it. It was okay. KTM's done that a little bit over the years. Again, Adam is one of those rare riders, I think, that gets it. I mean, he knows what's going on and off the track, and he knows public perception, and he knows how to handle things and everything else. And yeah, I just feel like this is different. I don't think he comes down and beats Tomac, by the way.
But don't you think it's still somewhat, and maybe Adam overperforms and gets in this title chase, but don't you feel it's still somewhat of that A and B? I don't believe that they made a huge long-term financial commitment to Adam. That's what I believe. I don't have any facts to back that up. So it still seems like they are committed to Tomac as their A guy, right? Because from everything I've read or releases that have come out, it just seems like they have Adam. I'm sure he's paid well, but nothing compared to their A guy. And maybe Adam comes out and proves that he should be paid, and that will reflect in 2021. But until he proves otherwise, it still seems like they're expecting Tomac to be the title guy.
Yeah, I think Adam's deal was still tied into his already existing contract to ride this bike for this team as a 250 guy. But the problem is everybody just likes Adam so much. It's like moss to a flame. People are rooting for him, and maybe that leads to unrealistic expectations from the outside. He's better at handling that than most.
Well, he didn't do anything to douse those flames by winning his first 450 race in Vegas a couple months ago.
And by the way, he's 6'1", so here we go. He's tall. He's going to be good in a 450. There is no evidence at all. Cooper Webb, your current Supercross champ, is one of the smallest riders out there, but tall guys are good in 450s. Plessinger, you said last year would be magnifique.
Hold on a second. Just for the record, Yamaha. I believe Yamaha is a bike suited towards taller riders.
6'1" AC, that's not helping?
It'll be fine.
Okay. There is one rider that probably knows all about this. Yeah, everybody talks up AC. Everybody gives him too much hype. One other drama we can bring up. This man, right here, Cooper Webb, cover because he is your Rider of the Year. Excellent story written by me in the current issue. So get it now. Go to racerxonline.com/subscribe. Now, there's one other angle. I, again, am tamping this one down. AC and Cooper Webb, amateur rivals. Now they're back in the same class. They raced 250s together for a while, but Adam was way off the back with injuries. They never battled. Is there anything there? Is there any like, ooh, Cooper's going to be extra fired up to show this?
What was this, Teen Beat magazine?
Bro, these are the questions.
Like, they got bigger things to worry about. They got Eli Tomac to worry about. They got Jason Anderson.
Hold on a second.
You are not hearing any of this stuff.
But what about the
any of this stuff.
Vegas press conference was only 6 months ago, where Cooper Webb just buries Adam for basically falling apart.
There was
crashing,
a hanging curveball, and he hit it over the fence.
Gosh.
So he cracked.
So to think that that's not right under the surface still after all these years, I think it's crazy because look at the shot Cooper Webb just shot across the bow.
So this is what I enjoy. We got the most important rivalry figured out. I don't know about Kenny and AC and Eli and Cooper and AC, but I do know we've got you two having completely different opinions. You're saying we have evidence of drama. You're saying no drama in any of these
Adam's
situations.
got a lot of things to worry about, and not what Cooper Webb said in a press conference.
But don't you think that Cooper Webb still is showing signs of some sort of resentment years later?
I don't know. I mean, Cooper Webb gave Kenny the pistols over the finish line, and everybody lost their minds, and nothing happened. I never
You're an
saw.
amateur expert. You were at all those races.
Yeah,
you
I was
them
there.
big time
Right.
then. Yes.
Yeah, right. So it's a non-story for me. I just maybe they get into it on the track, but it'll be started because one guy did something on the track to him, and it
I
goes
don't
from there.
disagree with that. To me, it's just something that's right below the surface. It only takes one incident to bring all those old emotions out, right? Just like RV and Alessi years ago, everything was fine. It just takes one incident to bring it all back to the surface.
Something about Adam, I think that's underrated a little bit, and you know him well, as do I. Nick Way, working with Cameron McAdoo as well now. I got the world of respect for Nick Way, and I know Adam's off-track podium interviews and things like that are really guided by Nick the last couple of years, and of course Adam was good at it anyways, but Nick's a really common influence over there, and I want to just give props to Nick Way for really helping Adam out.
We're going to send it to our man Chris Kiefer, RacerX's new bike testing guru. He is a professional test rider. Adam is riding the Kawasaki. Let's get a little analysis of the Kawasaki KX 450. Chris?
All right, guys. You've heard these dudes before. Jason, Weege, and of course Mathis. Eli Tomac all day long. I understand it. Last year, Eli Tomac had a brand new bike to work with. He had a little back issue, but here's what I think coming into 2020. You have a bike that's on the second year. You have a chassis that is the most comfortable chassis in the paddock. Besides KTM, there's not another bike that is as good when the track goes to bleep in the main event, okay? You watch. Me and JT battle all the time about the whoops. The whoops this, the whoop that. You need to skim the whoops. To me, that's BS. I feel like by the time the main event comes, those whoops are so broken down, it doesn't matter. So what does it take? It takes finesse. It takes timing. That Kawasaki KX 450 is really good when it comes down to choppy, square edge, rough, nasty stuff. And you look at a main event, that's what you see. The track is broken down. It's not the same track that you see in the heat race. That Kawasaki chassis is good. Who's going to benefit from that? AC. He came in here. This year, he looks very good. I don't know if those guys talked about it or not, but I'm telling you guys this. AC is going to benefit from the R&D that Eli and the Kawasaki guys brought in 2019, and he's going to benefit from that bike when that track goes to bleep. So, where does this leave me in the grand scheme of things of Team Green? Team Green is going to shine. I'm going to call right now AC will podium. I wasn't on board with that thought about a month ago, but from personal reasons, I may or may not have seen AC ride at a local track recently. He looks really good. He's very close to Eli in times, maybe better, and that KX 450 is really good. Stability is key. But the question is, can those two guys get starts? Inconsistency is Eli's deal. I don't know what the word to use, but deal is the word I'm going to use. Eli needs to get good starts, put himself in good positions. That KX 450 is ready to do that. Eli, it's your turn, buddy. Let's do it. Team Green, thumbs up.
All right, thanks, Chris Kiefer. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to put this helmet on because we're going to get a little gnarly, so I need a helmet for these LS2. We're going to make some championship predictions here. Now, a couple things we got to think about. We would have been way off last year because we didn't even have Cooper Webb like really featured at the top of any of these shows, and he won the title. So let me start with this, guys. Out of the first 5 riders we've discussed, can we guarantee that the title at least goes to one of those 5, or is there someone we haven't even gone yet that is a title contender?
Oh yeah, there's someone we haven't covered.
Okay, so you can't guarantee.
So I wouldn't guarantee it, JT.
Out of the first 5, which by the way is Webb, Anderson, Tomac, Roczen, AC, there's more than that could win this title.
Well, I think we're missing one, right?
Okay.
Steve, you want to bring him to the forefront?
I mean, Zach Osborne.
Okay.
We should have been in this episode, Zacho. I tried.
Okay.
But Wygan didn't put. But honestly, okay, Zacho definitely I think could be in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake Baggett, whatever it is, Blake Baggett or
more
somebody.
Than 5.
I don't think you can guarantee the title's coming out of these 5 guys from these first 2 episodes.
Well, honestly, over the last 2 years, we should have learned our lesson knowing that expect the unexpected. Because I definitely wouldn't have picked Jason Anderson in 2018. I certainly wouldn't have picked Cooper Webb in 2019. So who knows? We think we know, but history's shown us that we shouldn't have any idea, because the locks, the Ryan Dungeys and the Ryan Villapotas, they're gone, right? And it seems like it's anybody's series. It shouldn't be. It should be between Eli Tomac and possibly Ken Roczen, I think. Maybe Cooper Webb gets in there again, but who the hell knows anymore?
All right, well, we're going to know. Here it is, folks. We're going to make championship predictions. Might as well take the helmet off, because I'm going to go risk it all again. Throw caution to the wind. I'm going to go with Eli Tomac one more time. Maybe that's the definition of insanity, to keep doing the same thing over and over, but I'm going Eli for the title.
Please, just get it done, Eli. You're the guy. You're my pick. Again, I can't quit you. You're in. Do it. Let's finish this. Please, please. I mean, I'm begging at this point.
I know. I know.
I have to go Eli again. We've covered so many reasons why. You're missing Marv. Webb had some sort of knee injury this summer. There's just all these things going on. Team fried with Anderson. Like, we don't know where he's at motivation-wise. Everything is lined up for Tomac to do it, so probably won't. And we'll be sitting here in a year, right?
Yes.
And we'll be like, how did this not happen again? And Steve will be bashing his head off the table. But on paper, he's the easy pick. So I'm going to pick him again.
Is he your monster?
Yeah, he's the monster.
He is the monster.
Yeah, he's the monster, and you know, he's chasing everybody else under the beds. Yeah.
That's a horrible analogy.
Thank you.
One more thing. The world of fantasy is as important to people as who's going to win the title and all the inter-rider and team gossip that we've discussed on this show. So people love fantasy, whether it's Team Beat Magazine or some others. You guys want to talk about your dumb fantasy league that you guys run and what riders they should pick and stuff?
PulpMX Fantasy, everybody, go there,
Terrible.
check it out. You can play for free, or you can sign up and pay a little bit and have a chance to win.
Free?
Yeah, free.
Okay, I
Or
take it all back.
You can win a chance at a Yamaha YZ450 if you win the championship. We're also giving one randomly away. Weekly prizes, 20 prizes deep. So anyways, PulpMX Fantasy, JT, look, these are all contenders. These guys are all going to have negative handicaps.
Yeah, it's good times, right? And the great thing about PulpMX Fantasy is that even a race that's going on in 16th place, if you've picked Adam Cianciarulo or one of the privateer guys, that race is more exciting than what's going on at the front sometimes. So I think it adds an element to the racing, even if it's a runaway. There are all these battles going on through the pack, which absolutely affect your fantasy score. So it opens up all the spots as far as an entertaining race.
Cooper Webb comes into Anaheim, though, with the lowest handicap.
I would say Tomac.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, even the fantasy odds makers. I don't know who they are, but even they can't agree.
Yeah.
Shocking. That's our show. Thanks to Monster Energy, our title sponsor, LS2 Helmets, for protecting me from bad predictions. Fly Racing Gear, Pro Taper, and Maxxis Tires. That tire developed by
The King.
Yeah.
Jeremy McGrath.
If we were only doing these shows back then, it would have been easy because we would have just picked McGrath and we would have been right every
They would have
time.
been 2 minutes long.
Yeah, we would have been done. Jeremy McGrath would win the title. Those tires are good. Thanks to the King, and thanks to you for watching. We'll see you in episode 3. Zach Osborne will be in it.